on this life. The fact that I look forward to Monday because I fill the kitchen up,
Yeah.
and that at Saturday I'm actually still doing fine. But like I've eaten all the really nice things.
What would you what
That's
what
not
do,
really,
what do you
that's not
consider
really
nice
totally enough
things?
for my sad life.
No. First of all, your life is anything but sad. You live in a circus, dude. You have officially become the coolest human
I mean,
ever.
it's the dead circus. It's actually awesome.
It's beyond awesome. I did not know that heaven existed in observatory. Now, with all that aside, you were talking about things that you eat. What would you? I mean, in your life, what's considered like the luxury items?
I was getting Woolworths muesli.
Yes.
That seals really nicely. And I think the students, they throw away a lot of health food out here. Strange foods, they're like, we don't know. So they throw those away complete.
Yeah.
So it's always really nice to get things like grains and rice and those sort of shit, which you do find. I find lentils, half packets of lentils
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
I find couscous, I find flour, I find a little bit of rice,
Yeah.
I find pasta, and then those things are solid food that you can keep. I got some organic cocoa powder.
Yes.
Which was really nice, I still have it.
I mean, you're
So I'm
healthier than
not
90% of
starving.
humans I know.
Yeah, I'm eating much more nicer food than I can really afford.
And it's whole food as well. You know, it's your staples. It's not processed junk. And don't you guys
People eat that, it's addictive
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know.
And Sheriff, I mean, like, well, both of you actually, I mean, don't you guys both find how interesting it is how people just throw their shit away? Like it's nothing.
It is very big. The consumer culture is at the core of most of the issues we have in society today, where it's a quick fix and, you know, people just throw. We alluded to this on the previous chat that we produce enough grains in the world annually to feed everybody, but most of that grain gets fed to livestock, which only certain people can afford, and then that meat, once it's reached its sell-by date, it gets thrown away. Whereas grain could be stored for years and years and years. You know,
Exactly.
So it's insane that we're producing all of this food that then gets squished into all of this product that can go off.
Yeah.
And that only certain people can afford,
That has a
and that
living
only certain
lifespan.
people have access to.
Yeah.
You know, we're putting all this energy and then we're suddenly changing it into something that's pretty useless
Yeah.
if you don't grab it in that window of opportunity. And this is the whole how the whole production and consumerism and the whole capitalist drive is. It's all these really stupid things that we've been led to believe is how it should be.
Yes.
And there's a different way, and this is the scary bit for people to now understand that there's a different way, and then I'm going to have to change. I'm going to have to trust. I'm going to have to let go of this construct that me and my parents and their parents and generations ahead of us have all bought into. We're going to have to let go of this construct, and we're going to have to do something that's drastically different.
Yeah.
And that's going to, people are going to go like, hell no. That's going to be scary. It is scary, even if you buy into it. So to now try and get somebody that doesn't buy into it to believe that they're going to do that, that's going to be but we can only show them the way, eh?
This is what you say about grain being something that you can store. And the alternative to that is a living byproduct that has to be slaughtered and wasted.
Right.
Inhumanely.
Yeah, in contrast to stored grain, it's very dark. That is an absurd, unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because grain can actually be stored. If you store it correctly, you can just have and build it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And you can plant it again. And
And
one seed of grain
It's the
can
seed.
grow you a sheath of hundreds of kernels of grain that can each then grow
Oh, wait, dude.
individual.
Thank you.
You know, it's that the gift that keeps on giving, a seed. Whereas a life, once you've taken it, it doesn't. Yeah, it might feed and sustain you, but
It's not sustainable. It's wastage. It's
outside of the cruelty, it's terrible on sustainability.
it's the gratuitous
it's the cowspiracy,
it's the
all the methane,
gratuitous
all the water
hijacking
that
of
it
life.
takes to create beef and to transport it and to, you know, it's all
I'll keep it, and also, I mean, to go all to that extreme, like living so close to such carnage, physical carnage, that we don't really need, and the fact that we don't need to, is making it, is I think it's part
Just
of
compounding the problem too.
letting us know we live on the edge of a terrifying society.
Yeah.
Blood is spilt. but it's actually a made up. It doesn't need to happen.
Yeah. And like, fuck, you guys are so interesting. I mean, like, if I just think about it, like, I've probably said this in many different ways, in many different of my own YouTube videos, but, you know, people live the same year every year and call that a life. And I give you an example of my own life. When I've had everything, okay, and by everything I had the penthouse apartment, the great car, really great career, I had, you know, credit cards, I had a bank account. I was one of those proper fucking sorted cunts, you know. But I was that fucking bitch sitting at the Red Robot in traffic, screaming and schwitzing and sweating, heart pounding, because I'm living by my alarm clock. I'm living by that next bill I have to pay. I'm living by that next thing I have to do. But these things that I have to do I need to do them? Well, I need to do them if I want to keep that perfect lifestyle going.
So you've got kids anyway.
And I was unhappy, and the happiest periods of my life have been when I've been, well, in what the outside world would call rock bottom. The happiest year of my life was spent living on the streets in Lower Woodstock, and I was taken in and embraced by the local Islamic community there. I was fed, I was clothed, I was housed, and what I gave back.
You're Jewish, and the Muslims fed you.
Well, I'm a Jewish by blood accordingly, but I don't believe in that science.
I'm just pointing out how amazing the community of Woodstock is.
Well, just people.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just people. Religion is just a construct that was enforced by other people as well.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's wrong to cast people as a certain something.
Well,
but yes, you were there on the streets of Woodstock having a great time.
Well, basically, like, there was never even a discussion. There was never even a discussion.
Yeah, those are kind of those great times. Like, great is in an amount of.
Yeah, well, yeah. You just gave a word that I would have otherwise just, you know, chalked up to another word for nice into something that has deep philosophical meaning.
That's right.
Yeah. But it was a momentous and a.
Well, it's a moment in history that can never be repeated. That's a definite.
It carried gravitas.
Yeah,
it's
being
still
outside
happening.
in the world well, it's taught me about people. It's taught me what I'm living with and who and what, and also about the people who are on the edge, the people who are feeling life.
Yeah.
The people who have a qualification to talk about life, as maybe crazed and simple as they can seem or be, they are feeling the brunt of life. They're the ones that are feeling that edge of a society that doesn't make space for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who else do you really want to know about?
Exactly.
So those have been like those are my studies to live on the damn streets.
Oh, you've got a PhD in adapting. But this is why I fell in love with Sheriff the first minute I laid eyes on him, and I mean that in the most platonic way, Sheriff. Is that this guy? His disability isn't a disability. It is like I don't know if he even feels this way, but like I feel like if that hadn't happened to him, like his capacity to tolerate and always know that he will always be that person in any room that he could always say to any cunt, try walk a fucking mile in my shoes, dick, before you judge me. And he never says that. He never says that shit.
Sheltered practice.
He could play that wild card to his fucking like 11 millionth grant check per month if he wanted to, but he hasn't. He could capitalize off this bitch of a fucking metal thing like fucking Rockefeller, and he doesn't. And that's why.
Yeah, but it is kind of fun.
But that's
get a
why.
spring up in there, and you could it's pretty.
But that's why I look at guys like you, and I'm appalled at some of the years I've spent being miserable because I chose to. I chose to be a whiny little bitch. I chose to sit in my beautiful penthouse going, this is so unfair.
I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking it now, but like a rich person has got their money and their life to deal with.
I don't know where to dispose.
Okay,
the great thing about living in a tent is that the floors are, you can use them for anything. It's great, multi-purpose. As you were saying.
I would think we could maybe pick them up and then create something flammable.
We're gonna make an air filter. Oh, okay.
and you're also a musician, and I believe
that is his grand formation for the world, the air filter made of cigarette butts.
That is beautiful poetic irony.
But it can work. But he used it to plug the biodome, if you remember.
Yeah.
I think that's probably would be the greatest work of modern art since fucking the Sistine Chapel. That shit could become a thing.
Yeah, it's probably still existing. I saw it on the movie.
Yeah, man, if you saw it with your own eyes, it's got to be real.
Yeah, it was in the movie.
There's a guy up there in...
Oh, sorry, I like that. Sorry, by the way.
In gardens, there's a guy that takes pieces of wood, puts it back together, or puts it together, and then he shapes it, and he makes like lions and eagles. It's the most amazing stuff. And I've always thought, how about we manage to give this guy a little bit of a bigger platform? You know, give bigger pieces of wood, although it's going to not come together necessarily because of scale, come together in the same way. But I'm thinking potentially we could press together blocks of cardboard and stack them together.
Influence, yeah.
Stack them together, build it like you can even like model it 3D on a 3D printer and break it into its segments and go and build the segments individually to scale, and they can just come together and you can have like...
So what it's basically like abstract shapes of wood.
Yeah.
And then he puts them together into an order that is...
And then shapes them so that they become...
Okay.
I can get you some pictures.
Well, I saw someone doing a similar thing with slip slops.
I know.
Really?
In Kenya, they've now built a whole boat. They've built a whole boat that's going to go and spread the word about all the cuck that goes into the ocean.
Yeah, you fucking serious? They built a boat
in Kenya. All the flip-flops that wash up on the beach. On the beach, they've put together and they've started sculpting with it. And
I saw those massive containers.
Yeah.
Full of flip-flops.
Wow.
Like completely. And then they glue them together and then they cut them and then you get those fresh colors.
Yeah.
I'm sure there must be offcuts and there must be so much byproduct that you can work into all sorts of things.
I mean, this is profound. I mean, this is insane.
But I think it's one of the most toxic kinds of plastic.
I'm not quite sure, but I mean, as I would look at this whole process of saying, okay, I want to process plastics, it's important for me that the whole system's got to be safe. The whole process has got to be safe, because you can't now give somebody something and say that this is going to improve your life for the better, and then in the process you poison them.
No, you can't teach people.
Yeah, so you've got to make sure that we look at this whole thing holistically, inclusively, completely. But yes, that, like I said, there's things online around how it's done and so forth. Hopefully we can facilitate that process in somewhere nice like here. I mean, this is a nice shady area. I am sweating like a...
Yeah, from now it gets like much hotter until like 2.
Yeah. At night, is it freezing in here at night?
No, it's okay. It's just if the wind blows...
And it's noisy.
This tent is so
I was in here the other day when the wind blew, and it's so noisy you can hardly... You wouldn't have been able to film.
After about 5 days of it, you actually start to get used to it.
I suppose if you use your imagination, which I would, if it was one of those windy cycles, I just pretend I was at like a music festival and it was just DJ Blasty Blast, just playing his tunes.
Sometimes. I'm just hearing.
Yeah. Remember those days where we had ice rinks? Remember those? When we were kids, our moms used to take us to that fucking ice rink, and everybody, and you paid $20 to wear, and you got a pair of skates. Remember those days?
Yeah. Ice rinks. It's a very big, strange style, like just a frozen up.
Hey man,
making lots of money.
Hey, I like your waistcoat. I don't think it's a thing now. Like, because there was always the ice rink at Grand West.
But actually, the ice rink is a crazy zone. If you'd been there, you'd know. Like at the ice rink, there were kids, there were fights, there were strangers, there were the arcade war. There was
that was the debauchery of us techno, 90s kids.
It was
that's the equivalent of the millennials. That was us going to arcades. Guys, us 90s kids going to arcades is the equivalent of like your average Constantia 18-year-old going to like a music festival. It's what I'm trying to say is that
I don't know,
fun.
I wasn't born in the 90s.
When the fuck we were all born in the 80s, but we grew up.
No, I wasn't born in the 80s.
What the fuck? How old the fuck are you?
I was born in the 70s.
There's no way. Yeah. Do you embalm yourself with something? You don't look like you. That would mean you're in your 40s, mate.
If you sell you.
But you looked. I mean, you cut a fine shape for a man.
Because you've remortgaged it so many times. It's basically down to a very strict diet. I'm only allowed 3 things: sex, drugs, and rock and roll keeps you in the shape of your life until it kills you.
Oh, another beautiful piece of prose.
We don't know. He's half embalmed until it kills it.
So if I may, I have to. Unfortunately, this is it's episode 2. Will be aired next well, we don't go by the Roman calendar, so just never
Shoot.
turn your YouTube off if you want to see that happen.
Yeah, I was
Right.
finding
I'm Bella the Brave signing off. Now here is old Harry P with the weather. Yes, right, direct from Hogwarts, from the Gryffindor headquarters. We'll be having a weather report. Harry P, over to you.